So for the last few days, I've been seeing a lot of stuff to do with the storms, as I'm sure many of you have. There's so many things that I feel like you guys probably know about a lot of times. Sometimes it's like, I know people don't know. I think that there's many things happening. I think there's many reasons why the storms are happening. I don't think that it's just one reason, okay? Like, there's people out there like global warming, which, yeah, the globe is getting warmer, which is our fault, okay? However, there's also other things at play which have been at play. We've known about. We've had the awareness of. I just saw, this is why I'm making this video, because like this has been pouring on me for like the last week. I've collected little bits and pieces of things. Usually on Instagram, if there's a video that like when you hit the share button, sometimes you can download those videos. Anytime it's a video that has that button there that I want to download so that I can like share with you guys and be like, look at this, it won't download. It fails. It fails. It fails. It fails. But if it's something stupid that has nothing behind it, like no meaning of the degree of the bullshit, it saves no problem. Yeah, sure, you can save that. But you can't save these things where people are literally trying to tell us the truth, because what you're seeing on TV is like a veiled version of the truth. I'm going to trust the people that are out there. I'm going to trust the people that are losing their homes and are crying.
There was a 30-foot wall of water just pushing through Lake Lure all the way down. My house washed away. I had a cat, I had 2 geckos. I lost it all.
And are dirty and have seen and smelt dead bodies. I'm gonna trust those people over like the dude that's all in his suit and tie being like, yeah, so there's only this man. And even on the news, I've seen the news stations reporting not so good things, like a man who was out there in a helicopter trying to save somebody off the side of the mountain, and somebody there who was like in the fire department was like, you're gonna get arrested if you don't leave. So he left his co-pilot there and the person they were trying to rescue because he didn't want to get arrested. And I'm like, why would that even be a thing? Like, if you have someone there right now willing to save the person already halfway through it, just let them do it. You guys are clearly understaffed at the moment. And if I was the person that my co-pilot was now on the ground and I knew there's dying people there, I would have said, fine, arrest me. What, are you going to come get me in my little plane right now? Go ahead, arrest me later. I guarantee you the people will back me up. But no, he didn't. He left, which I'm not, whatever. He was probably, maybe I say that in the moment. I don't know what I would do. It depends on the guy on the phone, probably, how much he was yelling at me. Like, I just saw a video from when I was trying to record something the other day. I was getting ready, and the camera turns itself on whenever I'm like getting ready, and I'm like afraid of something on the wall. So who knows, we would be like, oh no, I don't want to get arrested. But either near here nor there, there's things that are happening that are not okay, right? But we just did the Reiki training, and like, you don't need Reiki training. I've done this in the past, okay? I've done this in the past, and in the past, there was things that I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. But in this situation, literally me just seeing the thing that was like, oh yeah, so on your birthday in like 1977, on my fucking birthday, May 18th, which is the height of the Palladian lineup, which is always significant. They always show me that date. We were doing this 5 months ago when I was talking about my birthday with the eclipses and all the things happening back then, okay? Whenever I see that, it's like, okay, we can send intention to lessen the impacts. Like, I feel like it's already so big at this point. It's gonna hit, okay, the next storm that's coming. Again, I feel like there's many reasons why that other storm did what it did. And, like, even the people who do it or who look at that stuff are like, that's weird. It just, like, it did its own thing. I've seen videos where, like, you can see that stuff, like, frequency inside the pattern in certain spots. I saw a video pop up the other day of that blob thing that we were talking about 5 months ago that just happened to come up in the synchronicity recently.
You all know I covered the blob anomaly and South Africa's crazy weather. These blue jelly balls were raining on this lady's parents. She asked me to look into this. Here's how this went, and trust me, it links back to this, and it's mind-blowing. I start to look into the jelly balls. Knowing it's not a craft project raining from the sky, I move on. I find that this is not the first time that blue jelly balls have been raining from the sky. This was 2012. We'll get back to that. I came across this. Blue jelly balls look kind of similar, and this is talking about how we could be drinking from water bottles made of these like gummy balls. Sounds charming? Let's move on. Thank goodness scientists looked into this and found out it was not marine eggs. These jelly blue balls raining from the sky were made of sodium polyacrylate. So I find out that polyacrylate has an impact on temperature, and it can be used for cooling and reflecting. It is not biodegradable and doesn't decompose quickly in nature, which is a little concerning if it's raining from the sky. So I go back to looking for anything that looked like a jelly blue ball that might rain from the sky, and I found this. This is droplet mixing with a piezoelectric transducer. Piezoelectric transducers are a type of electroacoustic sound transducer that converts the electrical charges produced by some forms of solid material into energy. It is energy related. Remember that. So, I ask AI, what does this have to do with my blue rainy jelly balls? Cloud seeding. While piezoelectric devices are not directly used for cloud seeding, they can contribute to the technology by helping control or monitor dispersal of the seeding materials like silver iodide, ultrasonic devices. Again, we have a sound element here. They may use piezoelectric transducers to create sound waves that can influence cloud formation and precipitation. Would you look at those jelly blue balls? Things you never thought you'd say. There's a sciencey description here of how they're intertwined, but importantly, these hydrophilic polymers can absorb large amounts of water. And you're thinking probably right now, what's this got to do with Hurricane Helene? Trust me. So we're energy harvesting. Now, in my video last night, I included lithium mining. I tread carefully there because I had a video banned. Now, here's the important thing, okay? The combination of piezoelectric transducers with blue polyacrylate hydrogels creates innovative solutions for sensing and energy harvesting applications. Again, with the energy harvesting. Trust me, this gets better. Here's where a big lightning bulb went off. So this kind of magical property of converting energy from one source into something else that's usable occurs in certain materials, like quartz. Hold that thought. Again, we all know there's loads of lithium out there. Well, did you know there's a ton of quartz, like $530 billion worth of quartz? You may be aware that the growing use of AI is going to require a staggering amount of power. Well, it turns out that quartz, while not powering AI directly, has properties that enable the hardware that powers AI to function effectively. Okay, we're going to go back to sound now. Another message from South Africa about hearing a strange humming and sound pulsing. Well, guess what else has been heard in some of these freaky storms?
What is that noise?
Well, we know it's sound. So, from the comments, I quickly gathered that this sounds like an instrument called a shofar. Here's what that sounds like. Definitely very similar. Wrapping this journey that we've just been on, thanks to the jelly blue balls, some experimental weather modification techniques involve ultrasonic devices, which may use piezoelectric transducers to create sound waves that can influence cloud formation and precipitation. Is this large presence of quartz a dot we need to connect? Is the lithium a dot we need to connect? The sound? Are the jelly blue balls involved?
Remember that thing that came up and it's like a wave measurer, but it was such dark water and it was in like a perfect circle thing that was weird, like something rose out of the water and caused huge waves that were so huge that it was off the scale. That's why it was so dark, because it's like usually it's this nice color, but when it's like purpley brown, it's like it's off the chart big. And they tried to say that didn't happen. But what's happening now, like there's things, okay? There's mines of the stuff that they would like to have that apparently is going to get easier and cheaper for them to mine and have when all of the land and all the homes and all the people are not there to fight for it or charge them about it, right? And damaged property is cheaper. So I feel like some of that is in there. I feel like some of it is those machines and these things, the pact that they made in 1977 on my birthday, for the weather manipulation that they show us, they let us know about. They have, like, people are like, oh, but they're just cloud seeding. I'm like, yeah, well, you were telling us they weren't doing that at all a few years ago. Everybody was like, you're crazy, they don't do that at all. Now they're openly telling you that they do it. Oh, but it's just cloud seeding, it's not a big deal. But that's not the only thing that they have patented. They have weather things, like machines specific for hurricane to amp it up and change it, and they've used this in war. These are weapons of war, and they're waging them on us right now, currently, for no goddamn good reason. This is all for entertainment purposes, right? This is all for entertainment purposes, because that other thing just got signed, so who knows what they'll do to me for having an opinion, which is another big problem. And all I keep seeing is people be like, we gotta vote for this person in case we get boo. Or we got, and it's like both sides are saying that, but like, no, we gotta change the circumstance, because like it doesn't matter who's sitting there. What is he or she gonna do differently than what's currently going on in the moment? Okay, like, and if you want something to change, you would think that you would want it to be the other side at least, but like people are like, it makes no sense to me. Again, I'm not into the politics. I'm not gonna vote, because I don't think any of us should. I think we should all just like forfeit that idea and come up with a better one. But people are like seeing these atrocities that are happening right now, currently in the world, and are like, we better vote for fucking Kamala. And I'm like, she's already there. She's already been there. She's been up in there for years. I don't know where Biden went, but Biden went bye-bye, okay? Like, I have not seen him. He stepped down. He didn't want to keep going. And she's already part of his situation. So don't you think that, like, this might be an indicator of how they respond while she's involved in it? Maybe? I don't know. But, like, not to say that because I don't know. I think that we're all being fooled and tricked right now. I think that there's a bigger thing at, like, this is what they do. They separate and divide. Trump is a performer. Trump has been performing on stage since a long time ago. Like, he gets the people through his performance. I mean, maybe that's good for people, like when you need to talk to other people of other countries so that they don't want to destroy us and all of that, but at the end of the day, he's not, like, his performance isn't helping the planet and all the people that are currently within it. He might make some changes, because there's some messed up stuff going on. Like, I've seen people say that are there with their truck full of supplies that are trying to help people in North Carolina that have nothing, and are like, oh yeah, well, we were told, like, to hightail it out of here if we start to see, like, the National Guard and the people who are supposed to be helping them, because what they're doing is confiscating all of those people who are there just, like, just being, like, nice and donating their time and their supplies to this. They're telling them, like, they're taking all their stuff and giving it to, like, illegal aliens. Okay, I don't know how true that is, but I saw a woman with all of her supplies in her truck discussing this and how she had to, like, hightail it out of somewhere because she didn't want to deal with that. I don't believe anybody at face value, but I can see that there's a problem. I can see that there's a problem regardless. I think we need to make some changes here, and right now, regardless if you're a Reiki trained or this trained or that trained, I really think people should focus. Like, I keep thinking of, like, the choke array in reverse. We need to close that fucking storm down.
Horrific. Maximum sustained winds are 160 miles per hour, and it is just gaining strength in the Gulf of Mexico, where you can imagine the winds, the seas are just so incredibly hot.
Okay, and I've done this in the past, and it was like, like a snowstorm was coming, And I was friends with the people in my community, and we were like, oh, let's push the storm away. And we did. But then we got a bigger storm at a weird time that, like, I felt like was like, okay, here you go, because you pushed that one away, here's a bigger one. But in this case, I really feel like Spirit is pushing me to assist in this, and like helping it lessen its impact, helping it to ensure that it harms a little bit less, right? Like, we want to take it down. And if the more of us are focused on that, instead of all the fear mongering that's happening, there's people on TV like, you gotta get out right now and run. Like, that's probably not helping anybody. They probably need to hear it if they're in the line of the thing, but the other people in the world that are seeing that and hearing that are probably kind of freak out a little bit too and add to that energy. So we want to be like, no, let's cool it, calm it down. Like, we don't know, storms do weird shit all the time. Storms just whoop, right? We saw it, whoop, right? So if they can do that with their little machines and shit, we can with our machines, with our energy. So do the reversal chakra or whatever you feel within yourself, and like, cause like it's coming like this, right? So let's reverse that. Let's chill it out a little bit. Let's help it to calm itself down. Let's shift the temperatures in whichever motherfucking direction they need to go to help that chill out. They're saying because the waters are warm on the surface that it's like adding to this. So let's chill the air in the oceans. Let's, do whatever needs to be done at this moment and just intend that we're letting that reverse. Because and let's send to the people in the Carolina area that are out of home, and the people who have died, and the displaced animals and the displaced people, like whole houses, 30 feet of water just come rushing down your street. Think about that. Let's send healing to the situation, and let's help our community as a whole come together to recognize that the system that's in place isn't systeming. It isn't helping. It doesn't matter. Like, it's like we're looking for the lesser of two evils in these situations. And maybe one is better than the other, but the whole thing is been so, and I honestly feel like this may be the last time we have a president. I feel like if we even get there, I don't know. Like, I feel like we'll get there, but I think it needs to change for the better. I don't think the system is working anymore. People are messing it up, and I don't know. Something is happening, but let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best for everybody. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at others. Don't hate other people for being stupid. Like, I get it. There's a lot of fucking stupid people that think stupid things and believe stupid stuff, but because they've been told to do so. They've been indoctrinated into those ways of being. And it takes a lot for somebody to be like, okay, I'm going to dismiss everything I've been told since birth. It takes a lot. But if you can open your mind enough to question all of the things and look at things with a little bit of a why might somebody want these things to happen? It may help. And I had like a moment the other day, because the quartz and the I can't think of the thing. It's like a certain thing that they need to use for technology and our phones and all of that stuff, right? Like heavy amounts of quartz and that mines, right? And I read a comment and it was like, oh yeah, the quartz that they use for AI. And I was like, that's what they, like, the Fall of Atlantis was caused by, like, power-hungry idiots messing with the crystal power and using it incorrectly. And I feel like that's what has happened. Like, I'm sure these machines and things have this as part of it. Quartz is all up in there. They're making weapons of badness and weapons of war. And they're using quartz. 1333. I think that's probably similar to what happened at the Fall of Atlantis, when people were because like when you think of Atlantis, right, and you think of them like using the crystal power incorrectly, like you might think of like a big ass crystal just sitting in the middle of the room that like they're doing something with, cool, right? Who's to say that was how it was? I think it was probably very similar to how it is now, using it in ways that are detrimental to the people and detrimental to the land and detrimental to the soul. And we're here right now to look at what's happening. Okay? The first dream I remember as a human being on the planet was a recurring one. We were all underwater, cities underwater, everybody was not okay. and I couldn't move. I was just floating under there with people, and it was not good. And I feel like we need to stop. We need to send the right energy. We need the right people. Like, it's okay to advance technology. It's okay to advance our capabilities, but whoever the hell has the control of them in the moment, who's pushing the buttons and doing the little experiments, that needs to change, because it's not good. And the outcomes of that aren't good. And it's like, why? Like, you're on here with us, you know? Like, I don't think they care. I feel like, because when people are, like, you've seen people be possessed, right? In the movies and stuff, like, that happens. People become possessed, but they may be good at showing up in a way that doesn't look so possessed. There's a preacher dude, right? Or a priest or whatever. I don't know what he is. He is 100% not okay.
And I prayed about it, and I thought, I'm not missing that dedication in Jerusalem. Without the airplane that we have, that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere. And Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Well, my question then, okay, all right, but I want to get to the demons, because people are very commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Can you explain what you meant by that?
Who do you think you are today? The more we learn about this covenant of blood. What blood? The blood of this covenant. Glory to God. Cut the covenant with his Father God.
Glory.
Yes, like Moses of old. There's they're coming one. Oh! Don't ever do it. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever do it. Absolutely stunning. It's just delicious. It's so good. And he will be like Moses, and he'll live 120 years. And he said, yeah. Preach it, brother, preach it, brother, preach it. Just before the cross.
Like, he's got some stuff up in him. You can see it in his eyes. And he's like, don't you ever say it. Like, he is definitely not of the holy light. Like, I'm like, oh, he's scary. He's got a private jet. He's one of those, like, I'm gonna con you and take all your money. Oh, Jesus will forgive all your sins if you just send $5.99, right? No, I feel like that's his thing. But he is definitely full of demons. He can't even say certain words without, like, growling like a demon, okay? Then there's other people on the planet that I feel have also been indoctrinated into darkness. And I feel like there's so many things that, like, that I've seen, and I'm like, yep, I get it. I'm understanding of it. I get it. But there's so many people out there. I get why they don't get it. I get why they, like, just dismiss it and think people are fucking nuts or crazy, because it's unbelievable weird shit that happens on our planet. But I've been learning about it and watching everything and seeing all the signs for a long time now. And everything that has, like, you know, that, like, so many things have come to be like, oh yeah, that wasn't a conspiracy, that was true. That it's like, I don't know, just give people more time to see how, but some people just won't. Some people just will not, and that's okay. But there are some people that are under the influence of very dark energies and entities, and I don't think they really have much control over themselves. But those of us who are awake and can see, and those of us who are aware of this and are recognizing all of the not okayness, we need to come together and at least send good thoughts and vibes, right? Just prayer and intention and visualization. We are powerful. If you are somebody that is a Lightworker starseed, you do have powers to do this shit. And I feel like as long as we're doing it in the right intention and not for, like, personal gain, like, I just didn't want it to snow that weekend, like, kind of stupid, Bridget, here comes a fucking blizzard in April. Like, and I know I'm not alone in that, because the other people in the community that used to, like, call for pushing out storms stopped doing that all those years ago around the same. Like, we all just kind of were like, yeah, let's not do that again. We fucked up. So We can do this for the good of all, with harm to none, and take away the power of the manipulation that has begun. It's not good. And let's help others to awaken and see that the way that we are running within our society isn't so good. It isn't so nice. We need to say goodbye to all of the lies. So anything that you feel called to do in order to help people, please do it. Okay, like through a visualization, through a meditation, through the beaming of the energies, like we talked about, the Reiki 2. I literally show you after the attunement, there's like 15 minutes of me showing you how to like do self-healing type of session. Do that, but directing it at the storm, right? Like imagining that we know everything we need to know, and the people that are in the direct path of it, they are understanding what they need to do to get out of harm's way. And the people who are creating this, the people who are manifesting this, the people who are behind, like, amplifying it, they need a download of the wisdom and the understanding that can help them to stop with the insanity. And the people that can't see that these are things that are happening, let's help them to understand that they are indeed happening. They've been indeed happening for a long ass time. Let's give people the psychic awareness, the intuition to comprehend and do what they need to do to get out of harm's way, and those who are causing harm to stop, and those who don't even see it to see it. Okay? And then the truth, the authentic truth, the vulnerable, real, good truth, the power of our voice, the power of our words, speaking in the highest vibrations, imagining that coming around and speaking into existence that these things are lessening, these impacts are reversing, the people who are harming are no longer allowed, they're no longer going to continue to do what they're doing. The light will shine, things will be healed, we can reveal the truth to those who can't see, and compassion and love and empathy within the hearts of everybody, and compassion and forgiveness for those who have began this, so that maybe they can stop and understand, like, you will be forgiven if you just fucking stop doing it. Stop it. Okay? And compassion and forgiveness for those of us who are not in the path's way and may feel bad for the people who are. You know, try your best to do what you can to share the information. Like when people are talking about things, share it so people find out about it. Like donate things that you can donate. If you're nearby places, you know, see what you can do, but don't go to guilt and fear, and because those are low vibrations, and those things just manifest more darkness. Feel more confident and more powerful in our ability to heal, for our ability to visualize, and our ability to manipulate the energies, the frequencies, and what is playing out on our planet. To have the confidence and the strength to those who are doing harm to find the power within themselves to stop, and to go into the light, and to go into the truth, and to go into compassion, and to follow their intuition with the wisdom of why they would want to do that instead of going down the path of the darkness. And to free themselves, give them power to free themselves from the influence of the darkness and the entities and the energies and the demons and the spirits that are unclean. And any relationships that need to be balanced, any creativity that needs to be given, any new frequencies that we can birth into the world to help to prevent any more harm, let's do it. And let's feel safe and grounded and secure where we are, and allow others to feel that safety and security too, regardless of where they are and regardless of what happens. Even when those are on the path of passing away, there is a reason for all of this, and we need to remember that. Like, even when these things are really bad and stuff like this is happening, there are reasons for it. People sign up for these roles. They know before they come that they're going to go through this, but it is to fire us up. It's not to just be passive and be like, okay, these people died because they were supposed to. No, like they chose to die, to sacrifice, to show stuff, to illuminate things, to change the trajectory of stuff, so that other people would wake up, and so that other people would be triggered enough to wake up. You know, like the people who are walking down the path after that find someone's dead body, that's going to change them. And that's going to change everybody that they interact with after that. It's frequencies rippling out. There is reasons for these things happening, but there's also like signals within the things that are happening for others of us to be like, oh, we should do something at this moment. We should make a change. We should stand up. We should probably stop allowing for more people to be sacrificed into these experiences, and just be like, oh, but that was for them to do, and that's okay. We'll just keep letting it get worse. These are wake-up calls. So I don't know. I felt like I really needed to share that. 2227. And hopefully somebody listened and understands and is sending with me. Thank you.